What's up, everybody on YouTube? This is R-Real again, 888 Realist, with another episode of Bullshit, episode 4. In the Bullshit series, if you're a new viewer, what we do on here is we expose all the blatant scams, all the hidden agendas, the politics, and all the bullshit that goes on in either mainstream media or, just any other media outlet. And we just call them out on it. Now, as you can see, I have the Street Fighter Cross Tekken picture up again. So, yeah, some of you may already know what I'm finna tackle. Others may be wondering, why the hell am I doing another Street Fighter Cross Tekken video? Well, it's apparent. In my last video, when I was talking about the Street Fighter Cross Tekken game, I was speaking on how there were hackers who had hacked into the game and had unlocked hidden content that was on the disc that was supposed to be released as downloadable content in April, I believe. But yeah, they hacked into the game and they started using these hidden characters, which was supposed to be available as downloadable content, and they had started to use them online. And what had happened with that is that people had started taking pictures and they started posting them on the internet, showing that these hackers has hacked into the game and they're using these characters illegally. Now, what I mean by that is that they're not available to everyone as of yet, because Capcom hasn't officially released them to the public. So these hackers were using illegal content basically online, and the hackers had got caught. And of course, some people were banned from online play, from Xbox Live, and I'm pretty sure that the PlayStation Network as well. But this particular episode of Bullshit, Capcom wants your help in catching the hackers. Now, it's a few websites that I'm going to show you guys where Capcom has basically, how can I put it? They basically just told on themselves. Because, like, the argument was that, the characters that were locked on the disc, like, they were locked for a good reason. Like, maybe the characters weren't completely finished, and Capcom just wanted to have the game released, so they decided to release them as DLC later on. But what the hackers did is, from the statements that I've read, the hackers basically wanted to show that it's nothing wrong with the characters. Capcom is just trying to scam people, which people already known, but now it's more apparent because they have videos online in which the characters were being used, and the characters just seem to work perfectly fine. And like I said, I have a couple websites that I'm gonna show you guys. Get that out the way. In which Capcom just basically tells on themselves. Now, this first one came from the Capcom Forums, the Capcom Unity Forums, where one of the administrators has said, yes, we're seeing the news of this. Yes, we're seeing news of this. Quite ballsy for folks taking hacked Xbox 360s on live when they are detectable. In any event, we have already opened channels of communication with Microsoft on these issues Friday night. If you can capture screens or video of this in action, as some have already, we're working on bans for boxes and accounts with Microsoft for hackers. I'll leave this thread open for people to post pics, vids, and the like, and we'll bring them to Microsoft as we have the last 3 that were reported to us. I don't know if you can see that too good because the camera sometimes, bugs out. But yeah, right here they're asking for help for people to catch the hackers that are using this content online. which has already happened. Now, it's another website where they pretty much tell on themselves that this is going to happen. Now, I believe that this information was put on there like before the characters were released, but even so, like, the fact still remains, they're trying to scam money out of you. And if it wasn't apparent at any other time, it's apparent now. It's right there in your face. I know a lot of Capcom hardcore fanboys are going to be in denial, like they're like any fanboy of pretty much anything that doesn't want to agree to when something is bad. But you can't deny it because it's right here. Now, I'm going to highlight everything that I read, like, just to get my point across. And right here it says Capcom. Let me shrink this screen down first. Move this over. And here we go. Capcom has confirmed that 12 new fan favorite characters will be available as downloadable content DLC on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 and PC versions of Street Fighter Cross Tekken later this year. The playable characters will make their debut on the PS Vita system when the game is released this fall, with the console and PC versions receiving them as DLC soon after. The character information and files were intentionally included on the retail versions of the PS3 and Xbox 360 game to save hard drive space and ensure for a smooth transition when the DLC is available, allowing the players to choose not to purchase the content, the ability to play against the players that do. So I really don't need to read any more other than that, but let me just continue so, just to show you that I'm not missing anything. More specifics regarding pricing, dates, and other additional exciting DLC plans for Street Fighter Cross Tekken will be shared at a later date. As a reminder, the retail version of this game will be the only disc-based version consumers will need to own, and all future upgrades will come from post-launch DLC. The new characters fighting their way into the Street Fighter Cross Tekken are, from the Street Fighter side, Blanca, Cody, Dudley, Alina, Guy, and Sakura, and will be playable from the Tekken. Alyssa Bonskanovich, I believe that's how you say that name. Brian Fury, Christy Montero, Jack, Lars Alexanderson, and Lei Wulong will all be available. So the main part that I want to show you guys, now I will have the links to these websites in the description, of course, because I don't think you can see it too clearly, but the part right here where it says the character information and files were intentionally included on the retail versions of the PS3 and Xbox 360 game to save hard drive space and ensure for a smooth transition when the DLC is available. Now, this is the bullshit part right here. Why the hell would you intentionally put the information on there and not have it accessible on the day of launch? I.e. already on the game. Now, I'm going to say it like this, like I said it in the last video. The hackers are on the right. It serves Capcom right for trying to milk unnecessary money out of the consumer. It's a blatant scam. The hackers are in the right in this case. As rare as it is, the hackers are on the right. And I want, what I paid for. And if it's content on the disc that I paid full retail price for, then I should have access to those characters. Maybe fulfill some requirements in game in order to, unlock them, but they should already be accessible to the consumer on the game disc, and they shouldn't have to wait for some DLC later on down the line, some bullshit DLC, should I say, to unlock content that they pretty much already own, let alone get charged for it. Even if somebody were to make the argument, oh, the characters were bugged and, they had issues and, So Capcom had to take it. So Capcom had to take them off, and they had to release them as DLC later on. Well, if that's the case, we shouldn't be getting charged for it because you already paid retail price for the game, and the characters, as you see right here, are already on the game. They're already on the disc. So in actuality, I already paid for them. So why would I pay for them a second time? Especially when I know better. Why the hell would I pay more money to gain access to content that was already on the game when I bought it on a launch date? Especially when I can get them for free via hacking, of course. So in reality, this time, we shouldn't really get mad at the hackers, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have been able to catch Capcom with their pants down and their hands up. Capcom got caught with their hands in a cookie jar. You got caught drinking out of the milk carton. You got caught with your finger up your nose trying to wipe a booger on the couch. You got caught. And out of all the ways you could have gotten caught, you told on yourself. And if that's not stupid, the whole point of a scam is to not make sure that other people know that it's a scam. And of course you got other people tricked because the scam is labeled as DLC. I had to do little quotations with my fingers. It's labeled as DLC, so people thinking they're getting something exclusive, they believe they're getting something, that nobody else can really have access to unless they pay for it, something that's not necessarily on the disc. Now, I've stated this before, as many other gamers, that if the content is already on the disc, it's not it's not DLC, because I already have access to it. You're just charging us money for the keys that we should have already had to unlock content that's on the disc that we paid full price for. If I paid full price for a game, then I want the full game. I shouldn't have to pay extra money to get the full features out of my game that I paid full price for. It's a blatant scam. The game was $60. I wanted a $60 game. Of course, all the characters are already unlocked in the game from the default roster. You don't have to do anything to get them, which is crazy to me. But, they figured that somebody at Capcom is putting it in their developers' heads that it's a good idea to release post-game DLC that's already been included on the disc. It's nothing wrong with the characters. The hackers have already shown that these characters work perfectly fine. It's no bugs with them. It's not really any issues. Hell, it's more issues with the characters that are already on the roster than the downloadable characters that got hacked. Hell, it's one bug in particular with that fat, out of a job Mega Man that they give you on the PS3 version of the game, where you jump with him and he just flies off in the distance, basically fucking up the entire game. And it's crazy. So, Capcom, you expect us to catch hackers that are showing people how to gain access to content that they already own, that you locked, that you tried to scam more money out of them for. You talking about them having some balls? You have some balls. I mean, you got the nerve to sit there and actually lock content on a retail game, and then got the nerve to ask us to catch the people that's showing us how to gain access to it when we should have had that already because of you. You need to get back in the habit of giving us the full retail the full accessible, you should have allowed us to have full access to this game when it was released. There's nothing wrong with the characters. So your developers knew this. You knew this. The hackers have already shown everybody. It's nothing wrong with the characters. So bullshit. I'm not helping you catch no damn hackers. And I hope other people, well, of course, like, I'm not talking to the Capcom fanboys. Because like I said, like, they're going to right-wing Capcom, just till they grave. Because they feel like Capcom can't do no wrong. But, whatever. But it's another thing I would like to say. Like, if you've seen the sales records for Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and you look back at games like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, like, once you look at the sales records for the fighting games that Capcom has released, I would say over the past 10, 20 years, the sales have gone down. Street Fighter Cross Tekken didn't really sell as many copies as it should have. People starting to wake up. They tired of being scammed by Capcom, and that's why I haven't purchased any game from Capcom in so long myself. So that's it for this episode of Bullshit. I'll see you guys later for the next one. And Capcom, fuck you, bullshit. I ain't helping you catch no fucking hackers. If I do end up buying this game, I'm going to hack into it, and when you release the content publicly, I'm going to start playing with them online, and I ain't got to pay for shit to do that. So, fuck you, Capcom. Eat a dick.